Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our TTF ACF1 League Season 1, Round 1 at Malaysia. That was a brilliant intro created by my good friend and server owner, Edgin. Welcome to the stream, where we'll be beginning quite the journey in Assetto Corsa F1 Classic League Racing. I think it's been a thing people have been looking forward to for a long time, and I'm very looking forward to commentating it. So we should be getting into qualifying session very shortly, and I will be getting it on the screen for you. So how's everyone doing? First of all, my name is Deathlink. I am your commentator for today, and I will be commentating throughout the race and qualifying as I try and get onto the server, which isn't letting me do so right now. So give me a few minutes, everyone. I do apologise for the issue. We are watching Formula One cars around Malaysia in Assetto Corsa, everyone. We've only gone and done it. Everyone can hear the game, can hear me. We've got lap times on the board. And here we are. So, 1997 is the first season we will be beginning with. You can see here TMC in the Sauber driving around Malaysia. Now, Malaysia is an incredible F1 track. Don't know why we don't race here anymore, but you don't need to watch it in real life. You can watch it here every season, Classic League. We're going to be going through as many seasons of Formula 1 as we possibly can, but we start here in 1997. Cars are quick. Cars are very difficult to drive, as I've been told by many a driver. But here we go. So there is currently your top 10 times on the board. We got EMP, sorry, is currently the fastest time in the Ferrari. Also, a thing I would like to add as well, every person, maybe in a different car, looking car to make it look really nice, but every car is identically built. So there is no advantage for being in a Ferrari or a Merc or anything, or a Tyrrell, anything like that. Not a Merc, sorry, a McLaren. And a Williams. So we've got Williams currently in second place of Jacob Snux. We've got EMP, as I said, currently on pole in the Ferrari. Then we got the lovely, I believe, Lola Formula One car. Didn't race, did a qualifying, failed to qualify and then pulled out before the race. Very nice car, I will say. MasterCard livery, lovely livery on that car. Then we've got here another Williams, lovely car. Indeed is the Williams. Got another car in the pits, TTM. We've got Vlad the Meat Man currently driving. Now, I will apologise if I get any names of teams wrong. Please correct me. I'm not a perfect man. I don't know every team by its livery. But I will try my best for all of you guys. So, there is Vlad currently sitting in P6 with a 137.9. So pole is 136.7 at the moment. And then there's a 137.4. So there's a bit of a gap forming. But we'll have a look here as Jacobs now crosses the line to start another flying lap. As he begins just finishing it out. We've got a crash there just for fake on the exit. Just parked it, getting back into the pit lane. I've got a new board on the air. I think Edgin putting it on the front row. Another Ferrari on the front row. 136.8. Only a tenth separate the two drivers. So that is going to be interesting to see how that battle goes on. Do need to bring up the config here ever so quickly so I can show you the gaps between everyone. I should have said that before. I do apologise. But this first thing has been a bit stressful. So there you go. There's the gaps between everyone. And the two Ferraris, currently first and second on the list, as Edgin is on another flying lap here. We'll stay on board with him as he comes through this brilliant circuit of Malaysia. We can actually ride on board with him here as he actually goes wide as we go on board with the Ferrari. Gets it back on the track, wearing a lovely helmet there. See other people on lap. Jacob Snux is also on a lap currently. This is a dangerous right-hander, this corner. A lot of drivers making mistakes here. It's not as quick as you think it is. But he's looking very nice in the car indeed. So as we head for the final corner, heavy braking zone for the final corner, and then flat to the line to see what time you can do. Crosses the line now. Does a 1:37.1. Gets him closer to the top 10. Edgin still on a flying lap, but obviously he had that accident, so he won't be improving his lap time from there. Also, I need to get the timer on the screen because I can't actually... Oh, there it is, at top, but I will actually get a timer for you all so you can see the quali time for everyone. So 9 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Then what follows is a 32-lap race. Pit stops, fuel, all will be happening during the race. I promise you it's going to be an exciting one for our first race. 18 drivers is expected for this race, but currently at 15. For a new league, that is a brilliant thing to see. 15 drivers jumping straight in, and everyone really going to be enjoying this season. So Racing Mouse currently third on the grid in, I believe that's a Williams. Correct me if I'm wrong. He comes down to the second sector. It's a bit far down on his time. He made a mistake on his lap. So Jacob Snuck's behind him, currently on his in lap. Raid is currently on a flying lap, so we'll stick on board with him. He's made a few mistakes in turn 1, but that doesn't matter as we head for the first sector time here. What's it going to be like? It's up on pole time, but only by 0.008 of a second. That's how close everyone's going to be on the grid. Raid has nicknamed himself on the server Mr. Consistency. Takes after George Russell. As we've got the really fast right-handers in the modern cars, but taking it very nice through that sector. Running too wide there, losing it, but keeps it in a straight line. That's not going to help his lap time. But if he keeps this lap up, he was only 0.008 up. I think he's backed off. Yep, he's definitely backed off. He's 1.8 seconds down in the middle sector. We had a crash there for Vlad. Currently in the Minardi, I believe, just caught on the exit there. As Johnny Donny comes to the line to either finish or start a flying lap, finishes that 1:38.6. We got Fate going slowly. I think just getting out of the way of someone there. Another crash for Vlad. This goes into T1. Currently sits in 8th place on a 1:37.9. And currently the man on pole, EMP, is starting another lap. So we're going to stick on board with the Ferrari driver now as we head into sector 1, 3/10 up on his previous lap, and he's going to be absolutely rapid on this. Running the mediums, I think it's the soft set tyre. It's the tyre of choice here, but there's going to be pit stops. It's going to be quite the race. Tyre wear does seem to be quite heavy around this circuit, and fuel obviously an important thing. So through the right-handers, tricky to get this right, but he does it brilliantly. 6 minutes to go in the session. Heavy braking zone for the left-hander. And then through the second sector, what sector time is it going to be? 3/10 up again. It's looking good for EEM or EMP to extend his advantage on pole position. But this is the tricky corner. This is the deadly corner, the right-hander. And he's lost it. Under-braking the rear, just stepping out on him there, as it just sort of locks up like the handbrake on a road car. And that is his attempt of a flying lap over with. Which means Edgin, if he is on a lap currently, has a chance to knock his teammate off his perch. But I think he's just on an outlap at the moment. It doesn't look like he's pushing massively. Still 5 minutes to go in the session, so anyone can really still put it on pole position. But we're seeing the start of this season where the leaders are going to be. It's likely, actually, the Ferraris are at the front of the grid. But as I said before, well, I'm still getting used to the cars, Racing Mouse. I need pictures. I need pictures. I was told that the ACTV thing would have pictures of the cars next to them, but they don't, which is a bit of a shame. But it's fine. It's fine. It's probably because they're actually all the same cars, but they've got skins on them. There's a lot of traffic there in the final sector for Edgin as he comes through the final corner. It's going to be flat to the line for the Ferrari driver. The current pole time is 136.7. He crosses the line. He does a 136.9. Still a tenth down on the time he needs for pole position. A lot of people in the pits now. Raid, I think, just starting a flying lap. In the Benetton, I believe, the 1997 Benetton car. I believe that is correct. So we know I'm not looking up the what every car looks like, guys. It's not. I'm not doing it on my phone. Ah, there we go. Right, I got all the pictures now. I know them in my head. So Raid on a lap. He's only a tenth down in the middle sector on a time he needs for pole position. On the onboard camera here, he's going to head to the trickiest part of the circuit. And once again, it's going to be really hard up downhill right-hander. Can he possibly slow it down in time? He does. He's run wide though, and that's going to cost him his lap time. And that tenth he was down in the middle sector has just come to a 2/10 now. And yeah, that's going to cost him any chance of moving up the grid. As someone does move up the grid, NPE, or Nico Perez, moves up to 11. And Edgin, a tenth quicker on his last lap with 3 minutes to go, goes on to pole position. The Ferrari swapping places there on pole. And that is the battle we want to be seeing at the front. We've got Racing Mouse just about to start a flying lap. Currently driving the arrows as he goes through the first corner. He's got a bit of traffic in front of him. Hopefully the traffic will move out of his way, but he also might be on a flying lap though. He's not entitled to move out of his way. That could really cost Racing Mouse big here. Go through the right-hander there, through the first sector. Mouse is up on a lap as someone's lost it massively there in front of him. It's KBI. It's Bismarck who just couldn't slow it down in time, but back to Racing Mouse. Who's on an absolute flyer as it stands. He's got 4/10 to make up on the two Ferraris. And he's run nicely on those curbs. They're not invalidating his lap time as well. Heavy braking zone for the left-hander as he's lost the rear, but he keeps it going in a straight line, but it could have cost him time. What's his middle sector like? It's a 3/10 down, and that little lock-up, that little snap of the rear can cost you big in these cars, and now it's all over for him. That lap is a one he's going to need to consider doing again. He's got a minute 30 left on the clock. Everyone bar Cook is out on the track right now doing their laps. EMP is a man that needs another lap time. He's now got 6/10 to Edgin, who's managed to put in a 1:36.1. That is a brilliant lap from the Ferrari driver. And it's now down to EMP to somehow find 6/10. He found a few tenths on a lap that was abandoned after he locked up heading into the corner we're heading into now. It's a massive ask for the Ferrari man. Other drivers, ROM currently third. Then TTH goes up onto the front row, not too far away from Edgin in the Lola. Goes onto the front row, 3/10 behind Edgin, and that is a brilliant lap to end his qualifying session. EMP just looking for tyre temp as he comes through the final corner. He will now start with 30 seconds left on the clock his flying lap. ROM has gone into the pits. That is his qualifying over with. He'll start at a minimum P4. EMP is on a last lap charge. But Paul Edgin can't improve his lap time. He probably doesn't have the fuel to improve his lap time. We've got Jacob Snux also improving. He's 2/10 down in the middle sector though. He's got time to make up. We got Raid coming through as well. Raid did look quick before a couple of mistakes cost him big. As he runs wide there, that could invalidate his lap, but he keeps it going in a straight line. Qualifying is over. There's only a few more people that can set lap times. And he's 9/10 down in the middle sector, and that is Raid's session over with. He's pushed it too hard. TMC coming into the pit lane as well. He's starting 7th. Vlad has had an incident, and all eyes now turn to EMP, who is still on a flying lap. As Jacob does improve somehow, even with a lap that looked like it wasn't going to improve, goes 4th fastest. That's onto the 2nd row. EMP, the corner that lost him what could be pole, and he might have lost it again. It's not gone brilliantly into that corner. He's kept it going, and now it's a straight line. One more corner to go. See what lap time he pulled off. Heavy braking zone for the left-hander. It's now flat to the line for EMP. Can he put it on pole or onto the front row? Crosses the line now, and it's 3rd fastest only for EM. Johnny Donny is still on a lap, but he's lost it on the final corner, and he's hit the wall. He's hit the barrier, and he was on a decent lap there in the Sauber. And that is his qualifying over with. Beff is also on a lap, currently 13th. Can he improve? No, he stays 13th. Bismarck crosses the line. Can't. Oh, improved to 14th. Stouty has crashed on the exit. It's down to Miss now to see if he can possibly improve himself from 16th. He's 6 seconds off the pace. I'm sure he'd like to be a bit closer. He's going to come up to the line now. Can he get himself into the top 15? No, stays 16th fastest. And that will be qualifying over with your first pole position of the F1 Classic League at Malaysia. It's Edgin on pole. Edgin followed by his followed by the Lola driver, Theta 77, and then EMP. It all fell away from him in the last couple of laps, puts it 3rd fastest. We've got Jacob Snux in 4th, Racing Mouse in 5th, Raid in 6th, TMC in 7th, 8th is Vlad the Meat Man, Johnny Donny is 9th, and Fake rounds out your top 10. Obviously, as well, want to say that the point system we are using, we're not using the modern day point system because it's not modern day, it's 1997. It's 1997. So, we are using the 1997 point system, which means the top 8, I believe, are the ones getting points. So, it's everyone's game. 18 drivers will line up for the first Malaysian Grand Prix held in 1997. Isn't it top 6? It might be the top 6, Fake. It might be. I can't remember the rules. It's either top 8 or top 6. We changed it. I can't exactly remember. If I check the rules, I can tell you what it is. But there we go. Qualifying is over. We're still just waiting for the start of the race. Qualifying has officially ended now. Just waiting for the go-ahead to begin the race. Yes, so we're going with a top 8 finish. So first we'll finish with 10 points, then 8th for 2nd, 6th for 3rd, 5th for 4th, 4th for 5th, 3rd for 6th, 2 for 7th, and 1 for 8th. No fastest lap points are awarded here. I would love to say I could see the start of the grid, but it won't show me it, which is a bit annoying. There we go. So 20 seconds to start the first classic race here at Malaysia Grand Prix. RTTF's first ACF1 racing to the fullest, round 1, as we head for the 6 red lights. And it's lights out. And away we go, and it's a good start from Edgin. It's a good start from the front too, as everyone gets away cleanly as we head towards turn 1. There's going to be carnage towards the back of the grid, but it's wheel to wheel. at the front between RM, THE, EMA, and we're all making it through turn 1 cleanly. Edgin squeeze to the inside. He takes the inside line, goes round the outside. Racing Mouse. Can he keep it all the way around the outside? He does. Racing Mouse takes the lead of the race. Just ahead of Edgin there, but Edgin keeping ahead. Heavy braking zone. Can he go all the way around the outside? He can't. Someone late braking there. TMC, I think, has been tagged in the rear. He gets it going again, but falling all the way down to 16th, and that is not how you want to start. Edgin, oh, Edgin! Edgin off! Edgin has gone off wide. The pole sitter falling all the way down the grid, down to 12th, down to 30th, down to 15th. And a wheel-to-wheel battle with Racing Mouse in that corner was not the smartest idea. Racing Mouse still in the lead, following the Neff 77. Then comes Johnny Donny, RA Raid, and there's a battle going on for 6th place between Vlad and EMP as people are dropping down all over the place. And it was the exact start the Racing Mouse wanted. He got a brilliant getaway and took the lead. Edgin now with a bit of fight back to do. And there's a bit of a crash at the back. Misty down to 16th, but he's kept it going. But yeah, people making it through that corner okay, I think. Fake's had a bit of an incident as well, but he's kept it going. And it's all changing here. There's just someone into the gravel there. But a wheel-to-wheel battle now between Fake and the McLaren as they're heading into T1. Make it round. Fake just behind BGE. This is for 9th place. There's a battle for 2nd place goes on. Johnny Donny into 2nd ahead of TH, but he's not. He's been spun round. He's lost the rear. Has he spun round or has he lost the rear? It could be an easy lock-up into that corner. We've been seeing a lot of them. As ahead goes the Ferrari VMP, or does he? As the switchback begins to happen and he loses out. EMP now behind the two drivers of I can't remember, I don't know the names of their car, I do apologise. But here he comes down the inside into this right-hander, tricky right-hander, but the switchback comes for JJA, but he sticks behind him. And that is the gap to the race leader. 3 seconds already the gap at the front. To the intervals, there we go. And it's all kicking off here. It's a brilliant dive bomb there from Johnny Donny, who gets himself up into 7th. What a move from the Sauber driver as he looks to make up for his previous mistakes. He goes up the inside of the Ferrari. Is the Ferrari going to leave him room? He does on the inside. And lap 2 of this race, with 30 laps to go, it's going to be a chaotic one. There's a spin at the back for Stouty. He gets it back underway. He's down into 14th place now. Racing Mouse with the fastest lap of the race. And an overtake all the way around the outside. Car getting in the way there. But can EMP make it stick again? His teammate all the way down is currently sitting in 11th place. EMP will look to go up the inside into turn 1. Can he keep up the inside? A wheel-to-wheel battle with the Sauber. And Johnny will just sneak ahead there into 5th place as EMP down to 6th. As this is the closest battle we have on track right now. Johnny Donny looking to make his way past him again, but can't at the moment. There's a battle going on at the back between Cook and Misty for P14, and this is quite the race already. 3 laps in. We haven't even got pit stops yet. As down the inside goes Cook. Onto Misty. Misty turns a bit early. There's a bit of contact between the 2 drivers. Misty loses out to Stouty, who now looks to go down the inside of Coco. He can't make the move. Sticks behind him for P15. And Vlad closing in now on 3rd place. As the battle still continues between Stouty and Coco right at the back of the grid. As Racing Mouse, has he made a mistake? He must have made a mistake to the corner. He's lost the lead of the race and he's now down to 2nd place. And I wonder if his tyres are already struggling here. So Racing Mouse down to 2nd, which means Raid will take the lead of the race. As the battle now goes on towards the back between Jacob Snux and PPE. This is for points, 8th Top 8 do score points, as I said at the start of the session. This is quite the battle as they turn to the inside, down the main straight, and the power down the main straight. Jacob Snux can't live with it. The slipstream effect is working well for him. As into turn 1, he keeps the inside line. He gets ahead of them. Another brilliant move towards the back of the grid. And once again, Cook is going wheel to wheel, but there's a battle for the podium going on between Neth and Vlad the Meat Man. Vlad the Meat Man, he does hit the Lola driver, who does have a bit of a spin. Keeps it going in a straight line as another battle for Penguin and Jacob Snux continue for 8th place. It's the battle at the back carries on. These two, they're going to be racing all race. But Johnny Donny is already back up into those podium places. He has got the pace in this Sauber. 4 laps of 32 lockup for Johnny Donny. Could cost him there. Any lockups could hurt his tyre wear. There's a battle going on between TMC, the other Sauber, and the Ferrari of EMP. EMP may have put it 3rd on the grid, but he's lost again. He's gone wide, and he loses 2 more positions. His race pace nowhere near as strong as his qualifying pace. As he has a proper spin now, and oh, it's edging. Sorry, that's edging. Had a spin towards the back, and he's just doing donuts to try and get it back on the track. But he's down to 14th, down to 17th, sorry, and he's got a long road to recovery. The man who started on pole, down quite far, is Vlad. Went for a move, and so did... Oh, Jacob Snux also went for a move, and they've not paid off. Jacob Snux, got to be careful re-entering the track here as he goes now. Gets back onto the circuit, but place is changing around all the time as Vlad is defending here from Johnny Donny. This is for 3rd place. 2nd a bit further up the road, and then Racing Mouse a bit further up the road from him. This battle will continue. We head for the next heavy braking zone for the corner. Really heavy braking zone. You don't expect the car to slow down, but it does. Vlad broke probably a bit too late for the corner. Is edging up to 15th after his little spin. Keeping nicely on the curb there. Really riding those curbs in these cars. As he goes wide, so does Vlad. They're following each other through that corner. Literally, as we've got a pit stop for Cook, and I wonder maybe that's just could be to retire the car, but we're going to have to see. Can we see a change of tyres as the battle for 4th the battle carries on for 2nd now. Racing Mouse making another mistake, and there's a 4-way fight for the podium. Apologies, missing the battle, but Racing Mouse into 2nd place. Johnny 4th, and then we got a crash towards the back as Neath goes into the back of someone. It's all kicking off here as there's 6 cars battling for 1 position. Racing Mouse running in 2nd. Raid still running in 1st with a nice 8-second gap, but Racing Mouse with another mistake has brought everyone else into play. And we've got to be watching for tyres as well as a battle goes on between Jacob Snux and MPE for 10th position. No points able for that place, but any position is a good position. Jacob Steele also gets past Stouty for 12th place. As the battle for the podium still not cooling down here. Racing Mouse got back into the rhythm. He's got a bit of daylight between himself and 3rd. And Johnny Donny is not messing around today as there's a crash. There's a half spin for Vlad the Meat Man. And it's cost him big time. It's hit Johnny Donny. It's hit him. He's spun himself as Johnny into 3rd, but he's got to defend from Pengu now. As he does that well. The Neath also looking to get all the way around the outside of the Lola. He's going to have bad blood with Johnny anyway. But incident after incident here at Malaysia. Down the inside goes the Neath 77. It's a brilliant move to move himself up into the top 4. And now he can begin his charge for Johnny Donny. But yeah, not a mistake from Vlad the Meat Man. He's made a few errors into that corner to start. But that one was his most costly. So, lap 6 of 32. Been an exciting race everywhere right now as Jacob still gets maybe a bit of a tap from Edgin. Edgin up into 14th, and then Stouty is sitting 13th. There's a battle going on between TMC and Fake. The Sauber gets a better exit out of the corner, even though Fake was in front. This is the battle for the last points playing position. Fake really close to the wall there. TMC pulls to the outside. It will switch to the inside for the next corner if he can keep it all the way around. He can't. Can he get the switch back? No, he can't. He sticks behind Fake. Fake up into 8th in the frost. And Edgin with the fast lap, 1:37.5. 14th, he's got a lot of work to do, but maybe, just maybe, he can score a point here. So as we return the battle to P4. Penguin looking to get number 4 in the Lola of the Neef. Currently sitting pretty in 4th, about a second separate them. Not no DRS, no ERS, no KERS. It's just pure skill of racing. There's another pit stop for Misty here. Sorry, first pit stop for Misty. Looking for a change of tyres, looking for a gallon of fuel. Fueling is going to be important in this race. It's TMC. It's currently sitting in 9th in the Sauber. Wants to get back into that points position as the battle goes on between Edgin and Stouty. Edgin clearly the superior pace ahead of Stouty in the Jordan. As we look at the leaders, they're doing 1:38, 1:39s. Maybe Edgin's running low fuel, but that's a rapid lap time from the Ferrari, a 1:37 the previous lap. He is pushing to get back into the points. He knows he's got a job on his hands, but if there's any man that can do it, it's Edgin. Penguin just dropping back here from the Neef. Vlad sitting comfortably in 6th place ahead of EMP in the other Ferrari, and then the last points position is Fake as he battles TMC for 9th. Jacob Snuck's also involved in this battle, and then a bit further back is Nico Perez sitting in the other Lola in 11th. But for Raid, he's probably wondering where everyone's got up to this afternoon. Currently 9 seconds ahead of Racing Mouse. And at the moment, the man that calls himself Mr. Consistency will be on for his first Grand Prix win of the season here at Malaysia. Another pit stop. Misty still in the pits. I wonder if that is just him retiring the car. As few swaps there. I think there's been an incident involving a few drivers. But Johnny Donny up into 3rd. Who's that in front there? Is that just is that a lapped car getting out of the way? I believe it is. As people, TMC looking for a move around the outside, has not pulled it off. Is now down into 10th behind Fake and behind Jacob Snucks, who's moved himself up ahead of those two into 8th. The Neef is now behind EMP in 6th place. Vlad the Meat Man back up into 5th, followed by Penguin, and then Johnny Donny looks to catch Racing Mouse here. About 1.2 seconds separate the two drivers. Only one retiree from this race, Misty, currently sitting in the pits. As we can see on board the Neef down the inside of EMP. This is for 6th position in the Lola. He takes 6th position away from EMP. And yeah, EMP's day it started well in qualifying, just never picked up again. It's TMC and Fake still battle it out for 9th position. This isn't for points anymore. As Edgin pulls into the pits, and as I suspected, low fuel with that lap time. Imagine he's going to get a quick dash and splash and carry on. TMC down the inside. Very nice move from the Sauber driver as he sits in 9th place. They've got some work to do to catch Jacob ahead for the last points finish, as EMP still in the battle with the Neef for 6. Johnny Donny is now within touching distance of the Racing Mouse. This is for podium position. As Racing Mouse goes wide, and I wonder if his tyres are struggling a bit here. We can ride on board with Johnny Donny as he pulls to the outside line. And is he going to pull ahead of Johnny Donny, sorry, ahead of Racing Mouse into the final corner. Racing Mouse still on the inside. He blocks him off, sends him a bit wide. It's a crash further towards the back. We'll have a look at that in a second, but this is a battle for second. Johnny pulls to the inside. It's wheel to wheel into turn one. Johnny's got the inside line, but it turns to the outside line for the next corner. If Racing Mouse has kept it round, Johnny squeezes him to the curb, but Johnny Donny up into second place. I think there was a crash involving Penguin, who has decided to retire from the Grand Prix. So 2 retirees now from the Malaysian Grand Prix. We've got Misty sitting in 18th, and we've got Penguin sitting in 13th. Edgin, having made his pit stop, is currently 16th. He's got some work to do, but he's on a charge. Racing Mouse was leading this race for a while, made a mistake, is now down to 3rd. He's got to try and keep up with Johnny Donny, who's going to be on the charge to catch Raid, who has pulled out a brilliant 10-second gap on the rest of the field. The Neef has lost it as we switch to his camera, and the commentator's curse almost strikes again as he somehow holds that, but he's now wheel to wheel with EMP as he heads into the next corner. EMP looks to go all around the outside. He can't make it happen. The Neef still ahead here, but 10 laps out of the 32 pit stops, I imagine, will be happening. As you can see by the Neef, those tyres are struggling to get through that corner. Neef still ahead in 5th place. We've got a spin towards the back. Nico Perez is currently 10th. He's had a spin, but he's back in front. As the first pit stop for one of the top 3, Johnny Donny, is into the pits here on lap 3. He's got to try something a bit different to try and catch the race lead. He pulls into his pit stop. Tyre change will be happening, as we also got Vlad the Meat Man pulling in. Lap 11 seems to be the lap that everyone wants. The Neef also following him in here. So EMP up into 3rd, then comes Jacob Snacks in 5th. Vlad pulls into his pits. So does the lower driver. Oh, someone comes out ahead. I wonder if that was the other driver, Johnny Donny, in the pits. TMC also in the pits. Vlad the Meat Man in the pits. Nico Perez now up into 6th position as Vlad the Meat Man pulls out of the pits now, having made his pit stop and his fuel strategy correct. Johnny also pulling out in 9th position. The Neef not out as of yet. TMC still filling up with fuel. Beth is also in the pits. TMC still in the pits here. I wonder if he will be coming out again. I do rather hope he will be coming out. Maybe just filling up with a lot of fuel. Big stint coming up for TMC. So the Neef funneled out into P11. He's got a man who probably hasn't made his pit stop in front in 10th. Edgin up into 14th now as TMC does come out of the pits. And Edgin, does he come out ahead of TMC? I'm going to see this battle, and he does come out ahead of TMC. And the Neef, he's got fresher tyres on. He's got basically a new car underneath him as he looks to go all the way around the outside up into 10th position, but he hasn't got the grip all the way around the outside. Track runs out on him, but he does get it happen. He does make the move happen ahead of Jacob Steele. And we now see Johnny Donny running in 9th place, having made his stop, as Vlad the Meat Man ahead of SST for 7th place, as Vlad looks to make his charge back up the field. As a spin towards the back for SST, another man that needs to make a pit stop in the race. So Vlad through the final corner now. He's on the charge. He's got fresh tyres on. He's got a new set of fuel in. As it's now down to him to try and make the gap up with that new set of tyres. As gaps are starting to form up and down the grid, obviously pit stops will form that. We can have a look at the current race leader. Raid, at the moment, has been impervious to anyone around him. He is yet to make a pit stop. He's got that TMC in front of him in the Sauber. Did make a long pit stop. Maybe just to fix some components. He did have a few incidents on the track. He's also got to get the fuel
Edgin with a 1:38.7, currently sitting in 13th place. He's got 14 seconds to the next car. And now TMC is required to move out of the way here. Blue flags are a thing, and TMC gracefully moves out of the way as we see a battle happening here between Jacob Snux and a man who hasn't made a pit stop as they go wheel to wheel into the final corner. This is for podium position as it stands. Jacob into the final corner, gets ahead of the Ferrari who pulls into the pits on this lap. Racing Mouse is also in the pits, making his first pit stop of the afternoon. So you see the Ferrari in the background just pulling into the pits as well. Just waiting for Racing Mouse to come out of the pits. There is Fake coming down the back straight. It'd be interesting to see where he comes out. The most interesting thing is where will Vlad come out? Vlad just coming through the final corner now. Racing Mouse still in his pit stop. EMP has finished his pit stop, and so has Racing Mouse, pulls in front. But where is Vlad? Coming down the back straight now. As we head towards turn 1, has Vlad made the pit strategy work? Can he get ahead of Racing Mouse? And he's done that, exact what he wanted. So has Johnny Donny. But Johnny went really deep into that corner, allowed Racing Mouse to have a go up the inside, but he can't make it stick. And the pit stop strategy for Vlad and for Johnny gets them ahead of Racing Mouse. And that is crucial for their races this afternoon. But the battle is definitely not over yet. Racing Mouse has got some pace in that car. As he swings it around that corner, really rattles the car. As he looks to take 6th place off of Johnny Donny in the Sauber. Heavy braking zone. As Misty still in the pits, obviously retired from the race. So 30 seconds now, the gap at the front, by the way, between Raid and 2nd place. I believe it's Jacob, who's yet to make a pit stop in this race. Racing Mouse dropping back now from the 2 in front as he warms up those tyres. A lot of fuel on board, but this is Johnny, who looks to take 5th place from Vlad, and this is a proper battle. This could be the battle for the podium late this afternoon as Johnny goes down the inside. He locks up his fronts. He went in really deep, and he hasn't made the move, and it's going to allow Racing Mouse to get past him as well. And Johnny really wanted that position, maybe wanted it too much, but it's actually put Vlad out of position there as Racing Mouse looks to get the advantage back ahead of these 2 drivers. As he goes around the outside, can he get squeeze onto the curb as Racing Mouse loses the rear end? I wonder if there was maybe a bit of contact there, but Racing Mouse now down into 8th, and there might have been a bit of contact. Stewards will have to take a look at that after the race. But that has actually ruined Racing Mouse at the moment on lap 14. It's now got a job to do to get back up into the points and back into that battle between Vlad EMP and Johnny Donny. As they're both really taking that wide line. Steward's going to have to be taking a look at that. Surely track limit violations going to be happening all over the place. Johnny now sitting in 5th. This is basically a podium position because people in front are yet to pit for the first time in this race. People going for longer stints, I would imagine. It's a lovely camera angle, I must say, onto the curb. So impressed that all these drivers with less than 2 weeks of testing have come out here and are delivering a brilliant race for everyone to watch. As Bismarck slides around the corner to try and defend against Edgin, but Edgin seems to be on a charge up into 12th. Still got to score points this afternoon, but anything can happen in ASF1. So EMP having a bit of a quiet race, hasn't always had the pace, but the fuel burning off for him, it seems to be working as he looks to move himself up the table. Currently sitting in 6th, looks to get 5th position. Just having a look at the gaps at the front. Raid now with a 31-second gap at the front of the grid. It's a ridiculous margin, as this is the closest battle on track. The battle between 5th, 6th and 7th place. As we've got a pit stop there for Jacob Still as Edgin up into 11th place now. Having a bit of a lonely race, Edgin, occasionally catching someone as Raid finally pulls into the pits for his first stop of the afternoon. As we're going to see where Jacob's next is. He's not near the final corner as it stands. Jacob, I believe, still hasn't made a pit stop as well, so he's going to have to make a pit stop as well. Doesn't make it this lap, stays in front. There's a crash between Fake. Fake's had an incident on the circuit, almost wipes out another car, but he's down into 8th now. Raid's still in the pit stop, so Jacob will take the lead of the race. Nico Perez currently running in 3rd now. Must have been a big incident between the drivers. Raid's still in the pits, but filling up fuel. Nico Perez has another incident as he looks to get back onto the circuit. And that puts EMP up into the podium. Raid just pulling out the pits. There's a battle going on just ahead. So EMP battling with Johnny Donny. This is for 3rd place. Raid now out of the pits, 29 seconds, the car in front, 30 seconds now the gap. The car in front, here is Johnny, as he pulls to the inside in the Saab. He's got that slipstream, he's got that effect, he's already ahead into the braking point. We know EMP can hang it around the outside, we've seen incidents here already this afternoon. But Johnny this time, keeping it nicely on the curb and ahead. Oh, as he has a big snap, as I say that, he goes off into the gravel and another lost opportunity for Johnny. Just seemed to lose all grip coming out of that corner. That's going to open the door for Vlad to send one up the inside, which he does, as I suspected. Can't slow it down, which allows Johnny to go back up his inside. And they're going to go wheel to wheel into this corner. It's a fast left-hander, which switched to a fast right-hander, but not going to make the move all the way around the outside as he runs wide once again. And it's a 3-way battle again for 4th place as Vlad spins, and it causes an incident to to the Neff 77 as he tries to avoid him. Oh, he takes out another car as it's all kicking off. Nico Perez back up into the points. Fake almost gets completely wiped out as the two Lolas are now next to each other. Nico Perez and the Neff. Neff goes up the inside of Nico Perez for 7th place. It's a brilliant move, absolutely. So Vlad now looking onto the back of Johnny Donny, currently sitting in 4th place after that spin involving EMP. EMP is in 3rd place, probably net 2nd right now. Raid making his pit stop as a spin. Who's at the back? Is that Johnny? Johnny spinning on his own in the final corner. A weird incident there. He's pushing really hard to try and get on the podium and maybe just pushing a bit too hard. Someone dived into the pits. I think that is Fake, who does dive into the pits there for a pit stop. That's what you do in the pits. So gaps appearing all across the grid, apart from this man, Edgin, who is now up into 10th place. Normally that would be points, but we're running on a different point system. He's got to get into the top 8. And here's his first challenge. He's got to get past SST now for 9th, and he's got a 7-second gap to make up. So Edgin, going to ride on board with him here. And is SST going to fight this one too hard? Edgin, heavy braking, going to go all the way around the outside, but keeps it up the inside. As there's a battle going on between 3rd and 2nd. Raid made a mistake somewhere. Raid now down to 3rd. And I think it must have been a mistake from Raid, who's been absolutely flawless this afternoon. And he's dropping back more and more. We're going to go on board with him now. And Raid, on that set of hard tyres, just can't find the grip on the car. He has lost not only 2nd place. Oh, has he got some damage on his car? He seems to be very slow. And he's going very slowly. He does. He's got suspension damage. He's had an incident with the wall. And as you can see, suspension damage. His steering wheel's not going in the straight line. And Raid, after such a perilous afternoon, has made a mistake, and that is going to cost him big time. He's got to get that suspension damage fixed in the pits if he can. If not, that is his race over, and that is big disappointment for Raid and his fans, and no one's going to like seeing that one. So Raid into the pits once again, which means Jacob Snux leads here at Malaysia. by 34 seconds. Yet to make a pit stop though. Then EMP into second now. He's got a that's a lapped car behind him. Vlad the Meat Man is currently running in third, and Johnny Donny still with a chance of a podium. Racing Mouse in fifth. He has a bit of a rear end snap there, but keeps it on a straight line. Got Nico Perez running in sixth, followed by the Neff, two Lolas in the top 8. And Edgin is now in the top 8. He has points on his mind, and maybe he's got points for a podium. It's possible. Raid battling back out into the race. His suspension is fixed, but he's got quite the race on his hands. As you can see, TMC behind him there in the Sauber. So Raid with the race of his life. He's got 20 seconds of the next car as the two Lolas battling it out. Nico Perez going behind the Neef as Johnny is off again. And another incident as he gets it back on full throttle on the grass. Fair dues, but he can't get the grip back. And he's now into the gravel trap, which is going to allow not only one, but two cars past him. It's going to bring Edgin into play as well. And Johnny has been in push mode since lap 1 and has never stopped. But unfortunately, when you push it, if you push a piece of machinery, there has to be a limit at some point. And I think Johnny, every single lap, he's finding the limit. There's a battle towards the back as SST gets ahead of, ahead of Beth, who's currently running in 15th. It's EMP running a lonely race now in second place. 8 seconds behind him, 34 seconds in front of him. Lap 19 of 32. There's not really any battles on the grid at the moment. Beth is the closest on-track battle to SST. As he looks to make up for a disappointing race, I'd imagine, for McLaren. Only sitting in 15th, and I think the other driver is sitting in... That's not him, sorry. Oh, there's a late lunge there from one of the Williams drivers. He's gone off the circuit. And is cooked down into 17th as Jacob Snux does pull into the pits. And it's going to be a long pit stop. I imagine a lot of fuel, new set of tyres. But the new set of tyres seem to be very slidey, as been proven by a few drivers already. Johnny is in 7th now, looking to get ahead of the Lola. Racing Mouse has had an incident. He's had a spin at that corner again. Those hard tyres just not working out for a lot of the grid here as Bismarck takes on Fake into T1. Fake looking to go all the way around the outside. Can't do it on this occasion. Johnny Donny is now ahead, though, of Nico Perez. Jacob Snux still in the pits. EMP takes the lead for Ferrari at Malaysia. And Nico Perez gets caught on the inside and Johnny Donny ahead of him. Jacob Snux just coming out now. Pits behind Racing Mouse. Will he come out behind the Neef, for T1, and he will come out just ahead of him, but the colder tyres as a spin there for Racing Mouse. Is that a spin? No, he's kept it going in a straight line, but another DNF there for Cook, DNFing. So now Jacob Snacks, who had decent pace, he's got a new set of tyres on. They're cold coming out the pits. He's got to fire them up and get moving. Currently sitting in 4th place, a second behind Racing Mouse, but that is a proper battle for the podium. Denif also sitting in 5th, looking to take 3rd place from you. As Vlad the Meat Man is also closing in on EMP here for P1. So Jacob Snux already within 3/10 of Racing Mouse, and this could be an easy 1-2 pass here. It's not into the corner that so many people are having struggle with on the new set of tyres. No struggle though for Jacob, as he looks to make his way up into 3rd. Will he go for a late move into the corner? He thinks about going around the outside, but he does the little switcheroo. So let's go underneath. He's got his slipstream now. Can ride on board with him here as he heads towards T1. He's got the inside line for T1. And late braking, will it get Jacob in front? Not on this occasion. The outside line now with Jacob. Racing Mouse with the inside line. Racing Mouse keeps it on the track. They're still going wheel to wheel here at Malaysia. Jacob wants that third place. Racing Mouse not willing to give it up easily. Down the inside. He's still wheel to wheel. He almost knocks off the front wing there. Racing Mouse staying ahead with everything he can possibly do. I think Johnny Donny is in for another pit stop. It's TMC moving up into 9th there, edging up into 7th as the battle for 3rd place continues. Racing Mouse is within touching distance. I think Vlad's had a spin as well, which has dropped him a lot of places to EMP. So Racing Mouse and Vlad might be having a battle shortly as well. This is a proper four-way fight now as we come to the closing stages of the Malaysian Grand Prix. 21 laps out of 32, and we still got so much racing to see, and it's been an absolute... If this is any reason to sign up for RTTF or follow us right now, don't know what is. This is a brilliant race we are witnessing here at the first ACF1 League, as Racing Mouse ahead of Vlad, who I think is putting into the pits. Yes, he is. Oh, but... and the Neff tried to be sneaky and put ahead of Vlad. He didn't get the move done into the pit lane. Vlad has stopped on the entry to the pits, pulled into the pits now. I wonder he's got some damage on, or maybe he's just calling it a day. I imagine he wouldn't, though. Vlad's been running a great race, so maybe just wanted to get into the pits, couldn't stop. Edging into the pits as well. So Edging with another stop. He's in the top 6 now. Vlad's still in the pits. So Raid moving up a few places. He was leading the race at one point, but a mistake cost him big. Jacob still trying to push Racing Mouse to the limit for 2nd place. TMC up into 6th place now. I think he's planned to probably just do a one-stop. It's going to be a dangerous plan just to do a one-stop, but we'll see. Don't know how these tyres operate in the temperatures. Vlad back out into the race, into 10th. He's battling. Sorry, he's not battling with Johnny. He's up into 10th now. Edging down into 8th, down into 9th. Can he get ahead of Vlad? Which is probably what he wants to... Sorry, ahead of Vlad. Vlad is just having a bit of issues there with timing charts. Ignore the timing charts. I don't think Vlad is actually where he's said to be. So EMP leads still by a nice 10-second advantage. Jacob Snuck still looking to get 2nd place off of Racing Mouse. Lap 23 of 32. Fastest laps 139.2, 139.4 for Jacob on the last lap, so he's not really making a dent in Racing Mouse. So we check the other battles on the grid. PPH or Fake is close to KBI as MPE. Nico Perez finally pulls in for a pit stop. 4th place. He is sitting currently. He won't be 4th after the pits. Raid into 4th now. Fake just closing in now. Can't find a way past. Jacob just dropped back a bit here from Racing Mouse, but not by a lot. There's a back marker in front of Mouse. He will want that back marker to move out of the way as soon as he possibly can. And the back marker does move out of the way, but not brilliantly for Mouse. And it's going to allow Jacob to go up his inside into this heavy braking zone. Is it going to allow Jacob ahead? And it does. But Mouse gets a nice exit off the corner. He's going to go wheel to wheel with the driver here. But I think it will just put Jacob in front. And that back marker really not helping Mouse in any way, shape or form. Edging up into 8th as Johnny has a spin in T1. Edging, looking to dive down his inside. Oh, does Johnny see him? He doesn't. If he does, he sees him very late. As Edging still running in the points now. I told you we could score points. We'll see how many he can score. Lap 24 for EMP. In the 140s, though, I wonder if he's still got to make another pit stop. Edging, having made another pit stop. So is Jacob, though. 139.3 for... Thing is, Racing Mouse does pull into the pits. in third. So there is another pit stop coming for, I'd say, the leading pair. So Edgin just stuck behind Johnny at the moment. Johnny, as it seems, he's very quick, but seems to be prone to making errors, as we've seen on a few occasions already this afternoon. Oh, it's a crash between Edgin, and Edgin's got into the back of Johnny. I saw it on the stream replay before I saw it on track, and that is a massive incident. Johnny still come out of it ahead, but sure, is there damage to Edgin? Doesn't look like it. There's no damage to Johnny. TMC into the pits for another pit stop as the Neff take the lead. I was reading chat. I didn't see the massive incident that just happened in front. Well, Johnny somehow keeping ahead of Edgin, but Edgin, man, literally full send into the back of Johnny. That is going to be investigated by the stewards after the race, I'm sure of it, and my goodness me. We've had nothing but chaos here at Malaysia in the first round. Well, you can always check out, if you didn't see the incident, everything you've seen today will be on the YouTube channel by the end of the day, I reckon, on probably tomorrow. RTTF Racing to the Fullest. Check it out. We've got all our VODs up there. We've also tomorrow and Sunday 2 F1 2022 Tier 1 and Tier 2 streaming Saturday and Sunday. So keep an eye out for those. I'll be commentating Tier 2 and I'll be driving in Tier 1 as a spin there for Vlad, who's sitting in 14th, and his race sort of went from bad to worse, to be honest with you. It does come first, but you can always make it for round 2, man. There is spots available to race, and we're going to be going this for a lot of seasons. You will see more seasons of racing the first. I think Scrub could agree that this has been an absolute success on the first round. As a battle goes on for 9th place, Fake looking to get ahead of TMC. This is for 9th place, no points for this position. TMC making his pit stop though. He will have fresher tyres and he gets ahead of Fake. Nice. The TMC just on the outside here. He's got fresher tyres though. As a battle carries on between Johnny and Edgin. And this is turning into quite the fight. Johnny looking to go all the way around the outside. And he does keep ahead of Edgin. And Edgin, surely the frustration sets in for the man who had so many instances. As a race lead has changed as Jacob takes the lead. EMP finally pulls into the pits. He was losing so much time to the race, to the man behind him. But EMP now with fresher tyres will have a charge towards the end of the race. Johnny finally gets passed by Edgin, who moves himself up into 6th, and he's got quite the battle to get any more points from there. 17 seconds to the next car, but Edgin is a quick man, and I'm sure he's got a chance of making that up. TMC still battles Fake for 9th position, and then there's 14 seconds to the car in front. So EMP just coming out of the pits now in 3rd, and the charge is now on for the Ferrari driver. It's a lot of time to make up, but he is on the podium, and I think he would take a podium finish in the first round. And we'll be going in the next round of the ACF1 League. We head to the amazing, one of my personal favourite circuits, the Korean International Circuit, and it's going to be an absolute spectacular race, as this one has been. Made for a lot of incidents, a lot of crashes, but a lot of brilliant wheel-to-wheel racing. And the F1 cars, these are probably one of the best sounding F1 cars. They are amazing. As Fake and TMC finally pull off. TMC finally pulls off an overtake ahead of Fake into 9th, as he looks to get ahead of a car there. I think it's just a lapped car, so he won't be proving it. The TMC makes a mistake, and it's cost him big. He's got hit in the back as well. And he's now down to 10th, and that charge that may have been on for points ends on lap 27. And it's a shame for TMC. He looked like he was having such a good race. He may have had points on the card. And a charge that was on ends here. So Raid is also on the charge, but he's got a long way to go to try and have any chance of catching Jacob, who's 29 seconds ahead. Jacob has been having a... yeah, honestly, Jacob has been having a bit of a quiet race, but somehow he's now leading. As Nico Perez gets ahead of Johnny Donny, who's made another mistake, and Johnny, who's been quick all afternoon, just makes mistake after mistake for himself, and it's just... he needs to iron out those mistakes, but I'm sure he will. It's first time racing, everyone will get quicker and quicker, and this league will get even more competitive. So, EMP has got a chance of finishing second in this race, and for Ferrari and for himself, second place finish is exactly what he wants. With Edgin starting on pole, but he's going to be finishing down in 6th place as it stands. Ferrari are going to need all the points they can get if they want to challenge Jacob and Raid, who seem to be very quick. But I think Edgin just getting caught up in errors, getting caught up in crashes. And on lap 27, EMP is closing the gap on Raid, and I think Raid's tyres may be starting to struggle here. But at this stage, you don't want to be making a pit stop now. You're going to be losing way too much time. And you won't catch anyone. After the race has ended, we'll be interviewing the top 3 drivers from this afternoon, getting their thoughts as we head towards Korea next Friday. 1:38.5 for EMP as he does begin to close the gap on Raid. And it could be a very quick challenge and a quick pass, but we haven't seen any quick, easy passes this afternoon. Let's hope for some good wheel-to-wheel action as this race is coming to an end shortly. No major incidents, no safety car needing to be used this afternoon. It's been there, it's been available, but no major crashes to cause one. We have had incidents, we've had crashes that stewards are going to have a fun time deciphering how those go down. But Raid also, let's not forget that this man had suspension damage previously, and it cost him a race lead, and now running in second, he's got a lot of laps, still got about 4 laps to hold on to that second place, and EMP will want it as much as he does, as Vlad pulls into the pits now, and I think that's probably his race run. Having an error coming into the pit lane, and just had to reset to the pits, and it cost him big time. But now EMP looking to get past Raid. I don't think Raid can do a lot about it. EMP on the fresher tyres, lower fuel. He looks to go around his outside, but he can just do the switchback. As we now ride on the helmet cam down the back straight. Lap 29, 2 seconds faster EMP was on the previous lap. And it should be an easy straight pass into T1. But Raid's going to make it as difficult as he possibly can. He can't go full around the outside, as EMP has to stay behind. 2 seconds was his advantage, but it didn't give him enough. TMC actually is battling with Fake again for ninth. The race is not run for this man. As he looks to dive down his inside, can't make the move on this occasion. Still running in 10th. Not going to score any points because there's a massive gap between himself and Johnny, who's made another error, running off a bit wide there, as Fake and TMC does blitz past him. What a move. All the way around the outside. You don't see a move there. And TMC up into 9th place. 13 seconds the gap to Johnny. And unless Johnny makes another catastrophic error, TMC will be scoring points. So, and here is EMP. Can he go all the way around the outside? Not on this occasion. It was, we've seen it happen once. It's not going to happen again, but he can go around the outside of this corner. not on this occasion. Got to switch to the inside now. No DRS, it's all about the straight line speed. And you can go all the way around the outside of the final corner. We got 2 laps to go, and EMP is basically pushing Raid round the Malaysian International Circuit. As down the back straight, he was slower by a tenth on that lap. He's trying to overtake him that much into turn 1. He's got to go around the outside. It turns to the inside line if he can keep it all the way around, but he can't on this occasion. There's a back marker up ahead that could help EMP, and it could absolutely ruin Raid's defence of second place. He has worked so hard for this afternoon. After having suspension damage, after leading the race for such a long time, he's got to find a way. He's got to find some will to keep ahead. Ferrari will want EMP to move himself into that second place. It's a needs must for Ferrari. Is there any way he can make a move? There's a bad exit for Raid, and this could be EMP's chance, and he has pulled ahead of him. EMP falls ahead, but Raid dives down his inside, locking up his tyre. He is not giving up. He wants that second position, but EMP with the extra, can he make it all around the outside? Raid has got the inside line, but they bang wheels. They're going properly wheel to wheels. There's a crash as they go spinning off, and they both collided. And Raid, one push too many. And that was just bound to happen. EMP now looks to get ahead of him into that corner. He doesn't on this occasion. Raid pushed him so far wide, and that's got to be a best by Stewart. Raid so aggressive now, defending as hard as he possibly can. Raid may be pushing the limits of what he can do. And that could have cost them both a podium finish. He was so lucky to get away with that incident there. Even if he stays in front, it's going to be a big investigation on that one. Well, we're on to lap 31 now of 32. There's a chance for EMP still, but he's got to be careful. Clearly Raid is in no mood to yield his second position. He's still got a chance though. He may not need the stewards. He will want them, but he may not need them. Raid now switching to the inside line. Can EMP possibly find a way past him? Not in the braking zone of this corner. And Jacob Snacks is on to the final lap of the race. But we will stick with second place as it stands. EMP knows this is going to be his final opportunity. Someone finds the gravel trap ahead of them. And this is it. This is EMP's chance to take P2 in the race. Raid, I'm sure, will defend even harder than he did on the previous lap. EMP now is alongside him. He can't brake late enough to go around the outside. This is going to be one main straight attempt from EMP. Raid fully onto the inside. He's going to try and defend it as hard as he can. They go wheel to wheel. They're banging wheels. Raid is in no mood. But finally, on the last lap of the race, EMP has made the move, or has he? Raid back up the inside. They're still wheel to wheel here at Sepang. Raid does not want to give up his second place no matter what. EMP still giving him room. As Kenny enforces way all around the outside, he surely doesn't have the grip left. But somehow he's staying ahead of the Ferrari. And this battle has been intense for a few laps now. And somehow Raid is staying ahead, as EMP has to stick behind him. But for this man, Jacob, he's won it, and he's won it well. Jacob wins the Malaysian Grand Prix as we turn our attention back to the battle for second place. EMP has got one more attempt. One more chance to get past Raid. He's trying to go all around his outside. He can't do it on this occasion, but Raid's got a bit too deep, and that is opened the door, and he's lost it. He's hit the wall as he tries in vain. And he's not only lost second, he's lost third. As Racing Mouse pulls ahead. EMP finishes in second place. Racing Mouse, from an impossible position, will finish in third. Raid, after such a good defence a second, only finishes fourth. Then the Neff will finish in fifth place, followed by Edgin recovery drive complete for the Ferrari driver. Nico Perez will also finish in the points, followed by Johnny Donny, who will score points in this race. Just cruising to the end now, but a dramatic final lap for everyone. The only man it wasn't dramatic for was this man, Jacob Snacks. He has been very dominant on that last stint. He was unstoppable. As Perez crosses the line in seventh, and then Johnny Donny in eighth. And that will be the end of the afternoon, as we will now head for interviews in this race, as we will looking to bring Racing Mouse first. And it just kicked off with those last few laps. So we will first bring in Racing Mouse, the man who finished in third place for the first ever 1997 Malaysian Grand Prix. As we bring in Mouse.
Hello.
Third place. Seemed unlikely until the last lap of the Grand Prix.
I mean, you never give up in any kind of motorsport racing, and that was the case this time as well. Raid and EMP were fighting like demons. They were going at each other's throats for I don't know how many laps. So it was bound to happen, and I knew when I just keep it clean, don't make any mistakes, maybe push a little harder than I would at this point usually, then that can pay off, and it did. So I'm very content with the third place. And I can't wait for the next one.
Well, I think everyone, from what I've reading in the chat, from people racing and me personally watching that, I think it was amazing. I don't know what you thought of the whole race itself. I thought it was brilliant.
I mean, I got caught up in a couple of places. I got caught up by a back marker at one point.
Yes.
I got a contact with Vlad, I think, that spun me out on the turn one. So it wasn't perfect on my side. I think it could be done better, and I could done better. I made a couple of mistakes that were not forced by anyone. That was just on my end completely. So a lot of things to improve, but overall I had a great time. I had fun, and I can't wait for the next one, as I already said.
Well, exactly. So as we go to the next one, next Friday we head to Korea. Now, of course, it was difficult at Malaysia. How do you think Korea is going to be?
Korea is gonna be a bloodbath. I can tell you that. I don't know this track well. I only driven it a couple of times back in 2010 when the 2010 was a new game, and I gotta be honest, I don't remember it at all. So yeah, that's gonna be a very very challenging track to conquer.
We'll definitely find out. So thank you, Mouse, for joining us. Third place finisher for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Cheers, man.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Right, we will bring in the second place finisher now of EMP. Just moving him into the com box. Oh, I tried to move him into the com box and it didn't work. Let's try that again. EMP,
Yes.
second place in the Malaysian Grand Prix. Did have first for a while, and it seemed like you were running just a pretty solid race for that second.
I tried, and I think I did my best with the resources I had.
So how was it? Sorry, carry on.
Being damaged on like the first few laps with the front wing, and even rear wing got damaged. So I think I capitalized what I had to drive with.
Yeah, well, there was definitely a lot of incidents during that race. Now, the main talking point I think will be the penultimate lap and the last lap of the Grand Prix. Obviously, you and was it a Raid were pretty much going over the
Yeah,
limit. Maybe not yourself, but very possibly Raid was pushing very hard.
I was trying to pass him. I was trying to push. Sometimes I just like held back and see if he was gonna make a mistake or if I could outrun him on the straights, but that wasn't the thing. And when I tried, it got a bit narrow, I think.
Just a bit,
So
but obviously
yeah,
that's a steward's inquiry. But obviously you did still finish in front, finishing in second place. And then next Friday we head off to Korea.
yeah.
Obviously another track that we haven't driven in these cars. So have you driven Korea before?
No, I haven't driven Malaysia before either. Before we announced this league, or the car for that is.
Well, it's going to be definitely an interesting watch.
Well,
I'm sure it's going to be
it's
a
been
lot of
a
interesting
couple of
things.
weeks of prep work for me at least.
Well,
I've done it.
I think I think a lot more than some people have put in. So well done for that. So we'll definitely be practicing at Korea. But thank you, EMP, for joining us.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Your second place finisher for the Malaysian Grand Prix. But we'll
Yes.
now bring in the race winner. Where is he? Finding Jacob, if he wants an interview. I don't know where Jacob is. Is Jacob available for an interview? Edgen, do you know? Can you bring him in here? If Jacob would like an interview, he doesn't have to have one. But obviously, I'm sure chat would love to hear from the race winner. But yeah, no, that's a negative. So we won't be hearing from Thing. That's fine. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. But I can bring in, you know what? As a final thing, I'll bring in Edgen to have a chat with us because Edgen's race started bad, ended
Uh,
sixth. Are you happy with that, Edgen?
Honestly, yes. I had a weird incident where my pit crew refused to repair my front wing or my rear diffuser. So I was racing with a broken front wing and a broken rear diffuser for the whole race.
Yeah, your
And
teammate had a similar issue. Um,
yeah, that
so
was
obviously it looked like a lot of overtaking. And personally, obviously, as I think probably most people know, Edgen does run this league. I think it was a success, Edgen, as our first classic race. Would you?
honestly, I liked it. Yeah, I'd agree with that. We didn't have many incidents actually to take out the safety car. There was a lot of spins because obviously these cars are a lot more difficult to control than the normal ones that we're all used to, and that's about it really. So I felt it was nice. It was good.
And
Um,
of course,
yeah.
we go to Korea next Friday. Another track that I'm sure will be entertaining to watch. That's for sure.
I honestly don't know what anyone else said. I personally think it'll be a very difficult race. So we'll see what happens. I hope everyone gets their practice in. Everybody learns the cars, the setups, and we'll see how it goes, I guess.
Well, that is true. Well, thank you, Edgen, for having a chat with us anyway.
Thank you
But
very much.
that is where we will be ending the stream for this afternoon. So thank you everyone for tuning in and watching the stream. As I said, you can follow RTTF in the description below and join us on there. So check out the YouTube, check out the Discord and everything else, and we'll see you on the next race. Thank you everyone for watching.